Willits is our town. Always has been, and always will be. Like any other town, it changes just a little bit from time to time. So we're here to let you know some of the things that are going on in your town.
Hello everybody, welcome again to This Week in Willits. I'm Shari Williams-Andrews, your host, and here's what we have for you this time. We take a look at the recent show at the Willits Center for the Arts, watch highlights of the exhibit, and see work by several local artists who share similar passion for art but have unique artistic styles. Look at the wonderful work they've produced in each of their different media. Next, we in Willits know what a great chef Maddy Avena is, so I guess it's not surprising that Ukiah borrowed her last month to share some of her expertise. Watch her teach a crowd at the Ukiah Natural Foods Co-op how you can keep the traditional spirit and much of the flavor of the holiday while using healthy and sustainable vegan foods. Warning, you're going to get hungry just watching. Enjoy Autumn Leaves by our own Andy Wright, a short musical montage that reminds us how much beauty and color there is in the changing of the seasons around Willits. Finally, we all miss Ed Burton, who passed away in October. In this last piece, we hear words written about him by a friend, while we see some video of Ed participating in recent community events. Now, here's the Center for the Arts.
If you're looking for something to do this holiday season, look no further than the Willits Center for the Arts. This month, the November show, New Local Color, opened November 6th and featured the work of 4 local artists. It included mixed media collages, paintings, jewelry, and wood carving. One of the artists remarked that his fish designs were influenced by visits to several aquariums around the world. The show is open until November 28th, and all proceeds benefit the Willits Center for the Arts, which is located at 71 East Commercial Street in downtown Willits. To find out more about the gallery, call 707-459-1726 or visit willitscenterforthearts.org.
And so thank you for coming. I wanted to talk about what we're going to do, and I want to show you something absolutely magical. And what that is I have here a container of raw cashews. They have been soaked and drained. Okay? We are going to turn these raw cashews into the most exquisite confection pie that you've ever tasted, I promise. So we'll be demonstrating that. I wanted to show you the process of turning nuts, coconut oil, and cocoa butter into something completely different. So the first thing we're going to do is, so what I have in here is I have coconut oil, extra virgin coconut oil, and some shaved cocoa butter. So I'm going to put that in first. Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to pulse this just a little bit to just get it. Okay. So I want to show you how we're getting smooth here. See that? This is the kind of pie that you could even make it a couple of days before and freeze it. You know, I haven't actually tried that, but I do freeze the crust. So as you can see, I made the crust before I came here. I just did this in a mini food processor. It's all raw. It's flax seeds, almonds, pecans, prunes, and agave with a little bit of salt. And so just grind it up, and then you press this into the pan. And you know, the fun thing about a lot of the things I like to make is you get to get your hands in it. You'll see when we do the kale salad, you can't do it without getting your hands in it. But this, if you don't like to get your hands in it, you can use a spoon and just use the spoon and push the crust in, and then you freeze it so it sets up while you're making the pie, and by the time you're done making the pie, the crust is nice and set up. So if I was doing this at home, I would have made this go a little bit further, so it would have gotten a little bit smoother looking. But can you see, especially in the front, can you see that it's pretty smooth looking? Okay, so now basically all we're going to do here is we're going to pour it in the pie shell. Now I've been experimenting with the ratio of water to cashews with this pie, and what I found is that no matter how moussey or cheesecakey I make it, it really needs about 4 hours to set up. So what I'm doing here is I'm just getting everything coated with oil, the vegetable broth. And you just want to cover the bottom of the pan with the broth, and we're just going to let it simmer until it's done. And you know, I have to play with this. I've never used this pan and all of that. I might need to turn it up. I might need to add a little bit more broth, but we're just gonna, so that's why I call it steamed sauteed, because you start it as a saute and then you just finish it steamed. Now I'm going to show you another very cool trick here. We're going to make the raw kale salad. Again, this is like one of my new passions. It's only been about a year. About all we got room for. So here is how you turn this tough, see the bottoms, the woody stems, they're tough, they're thick. You're not going to eat that part, okay? So what we're going to do, and here's my trick, is you make a little rip on either side of the stem. You hold the stem between your two fingers, you take your two fingers to the other hand, and you go like that. Done. Ta-da. And what's left is fine. It's just not, there's not much left. Can you see? Anyway. So, okay, so here is the magic. The magic that's going to happen is we're going to tenderize the kale with an oil and with salt. I find that the avocado gives enough oil, and that's all that it really needs. Right, so this, can you see this salt? Can you see that it's pink? This is the Himalayan salt. I love this stuff. So I'm gonna go pretty, you know, give a nice few pinches here. This is a lot of kale. And then we start, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna squish it. See how much it's shrunk since I started? It's only looking like half a bowl now. And there's my Asian pears, which, doing Asian pears and cutting them in advance was probably not the best way to do Asian pears, but I worked with what I had. So here's our salad. So we're almost done with our beans here. And how are we doing on time? Okay. So who's hungry? Yeah?
Our guest tonight, Ed Burton.
But that was the first rule. Use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without.
Many longtime friends in Willits and Mendocino County will miss the unique personality of Ed Burton, who passed away on Thursday, October 21st. Ed was born in Santa Cruz, the fourth child of Robert and Lucy Burton. He grew up there and later attended the University of California, Berkeley, where he earned both bachelor's and master's degrees in science with a specialty in forestry. He served as a radio operator on Guam with the Army Air Corps in World War II, and in 1946, he met and married his beloved wife, Hattie Ogden. In 1950, the couple moved to Willits, where Ed served as a forester for Willits Redwood Products and also taught math and forestry at Willits High School. After World War II, the little town of Willits was suddenly crowded with young men and women just out of the armed forces who came with their families from all over the country to join the job boom in the forestry and logging industry. Ed and Hattie Burton were just two of the many who settled down in new homes on Sherwood Road and raised families. At that time, Sherwood Road was mostly dirt with a little gravel, with a huge rock in the middle at the top of the hill. There was little traffic except for the infrequent logging truck. Kids played football in the road and wandered freely for hours over the meadow and through the wood. Entertainment was neighbors entertaining neighbors. Bridge parties, swimming in the Eel River with the kids in the summer, square dancing nights, and parties at each other's homes. The Burtons enjoyed a full and loving marriage that lasted 60 years, until Hattie's death in 2006. Willits has changed a lot. Summers are still on Sherwood Road, and some of their children have returned to Willits to settle here, enjoying the place where they were born and raised. The loss of Ed Burton leaves just one more void in the days that were filled with simple pleasures, new births, socializing among friends and neighbors, and working hard in the business of logging in the woods and sawmills to make a living. Ed was unique in that he segued into the science of growing trees and using nature in different ways than the logging business, ways to use and save the forests of this beautiful country. The loss of that mind is a great sorrow to all who know Ed and to the many others who have and will profit from his unique mind. Ed had a lifelong interest in turning waste materials into useful products, particularly ones that would address an environmental problem. He developed a wastewater treatment system which used redwood bark as the media to clean sewage. This system became a successful product and company and was widely used on railroads and ships throughout the world. His 21 patents included ones for debarking logs, improving air quality, as well as many for wastewater treatment. Most recently, he sponsored an inventor's workshop to help other inventors convert their ideas into products. His weekly column in the Willits News, A Better Way, covered science and environmental issues as well as stories about local people, and was a staple that was widely read in the newspaper for 30 years. Ed was an active member of the Willits community. He served on the school board in the 50s, was a member of the Willits Rotary Club for more than 50 years. One of the best loved of his community services was his many years as associate guardian of Job's daughters. He was proud of the large community of friends that he and Hattie enjoyed over the years. Ed was a dedicated father and husband and will be very much missed by his many children and grandchildren. He also leaves behind many nieces and nephews, as well as treasured friends, especially his dear friend and dancing partner, Edith Ciccarelli.
I always had this dream of having a wood-fired power plant. And so I thought, by gosh, I got all this money, I think I'll just go build a wood-fired power plant. So I invented the clean smoke burner, so everything looked great. And I was even on the PG&E Progress. Remember the thing you used to send in the bill? And I'm shaking hands with the vice president of PG&E, and boy, I was a big hero because now they were going to make energy out of wood.
These are some of the thoughts of Claudia Smith Hill, a friend, neighbor, and fellow Rotarian, as well as those of his longtime friend and working companion, Phil Jurgensen.
That was our latest episode of This Week in Willits. The individual segments of this program were produced by local filmmakers. This Week in Willits is looking for interesting video of things that happen around our town, as well as information about upcoming events. Contact us to find out how you or your organization can contribute to our next program. I'm Shari Williams-Andrews, and we'll see you again real soon.
So that's about it for now. Things are happening in Willits, as they always are, and things are changing, as they always do. Yet it's still the same familiar hometown we've all come to know and appreciate for what it is. We'd like to know what's happening with you, with your families, and the organizations which would not exist without your efforts and support. So give us a call at 459-2528 and let us know what's going on with you. Maybe you'll be a part of our next story. Keep tuned and join us next time to see what's happening this week in Willits.